podcast for life.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You know the name, you know the voice, and you know why I'm here. I'm here to bring you that pristine PEA, performance-enhancing audio. Thank you to the Bryan for coining that phrase up in Bristol, Connecticut. But if you don't know my name and if you don't know why I'm here, I am the reigning, defending, undisputed Bulletcast champion, just like Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, Roddy Strong, and Adam Cole, baby. This title reigns hashtag forever undisputed. I'm the Podfather, and I'm joined by my tag team partner. He's the J to my Jimmy Uso. He's a former four-time Bulletcast champion, host of the award-winning Under the Radar, the Canadian Destroyer. Brandon, how's it going, buddy?
It's going good. Once again, I reign undefeated at NXT TakeOvers, but then just like at Survivor Series, I lose it the next day. So I think my new name is I'm the Sasha Banks to your Charlotte, because I keep winning it, but you keep beating me for it.
That's all right. Who's our Becky?
Mendoza.
He's not cool enough to be Becky. Come on now.
I don't know.
He's not cool enough to be the man.
Maybe that other guy who we don't talk about.
That other guy, yeah.
I mean, he had it for a little bit.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, maybe somebody will come along that could be cool enough to be Becky.
Well, somebody was supposed to be here today, but
yeah,
maybe he could have been coined the Becky, but he didn't want to show up. It was Sean. Maybe ever since Nikki Cross has been married, he just hasn't been feeling well.
Yeah, he hasn't been feeling himself. Thicky Cross is off the market. All right, episode 105, the road to WrestleMania 35 has officially begun. Let's get it started. So, outside of the ring, Dean Ambrose set to leave WWE. It was, the day after Monday Night Raw, after Dean...
It was the night.
Oh, the night of.
Who reported that?
I don't know.
Wade Keller from Pro Wrestling Torch.
I saw it on WWE's Instagram.
Well, I knew about it, before I went to bed. So I've known about this. I was the first one, because I'm a VIP member, Shout out Wade Keller.
All right. Yeah, Ambrose, after a very good promo on Raw against Rollins and Hunter, and then a decent match against Seth and an exchange with Nia Jax, it's reported that Dean Ambrose, John Good, will not renew his contract when it ends in April.
Yeah, I talked about this on Under the Radar the day the news kind of broke, and this is very interesting. Obviously, Dean Ambrose leaving WWE, given his notice, so we're going to have to keep a key eye out for him the next couple months to see where he is. Is he out in WrestleMania? Do they job him out the next few weeks? Because I think Dean Ambrose right now, people are seeing that he is not utilized to his full potential. I think he realizes that as well, that he's not burned out. He's not like CM Punk. He's wanting to go because he wants to, pursue, he wants to have creative freedom and he wants to do what he wants to do. So if he goes to AEW or wherever he goes, but I definitely think AEW, do you think this would have ever happened if AEW was not a real thing?
I don't know. I smell a work somewhere in here. I do. Because, let's look at it. WWE, when somebody leaves, they're officially gone, like Big Cass. Big Cass has come to terms with, WWE's come to terms with the release or whatever. They don't announce it before. They've never done that. So I smell a work, I smell a storyline somewhere.
Maybe they can play it up, because it's the end of January. It's apparently mid-April is when he's done, so we have around 3 months for this whole thing to play out. And I think WWE might be realizing that they don't want to future endeavor people. They don't want to be seen as the bad guy, because this might be the first shot. Dean Ambrose goes to AEW, maybe Finn Balor goes, or I know it's not the same level, but Zack Ryder of the Revival, people who are seen as being underutilized go. And I think WWE is going to have to realize that they need to maybe bring the morale up of the boys and the girls, just because now there is another competitor out there, maybe not as big of a deal as WWE, but they could be as big of a deal. So I think WWE needs to be okay, that's why I say it's interesting to see how they handle Dean Ambrose, because they job him out. Yes, you might be able to put some people over, but then that also adds fire to the character of Jon Moxley on the indie scene, showing that, WWE screwed him over, and he can be way better on AEW.
Let's say Dean leaves. Let's say he's gone. Does he just go on the indie scenes and rant about WWE and how he was underutilized? The guy was the world heavyweight champion. So
but he was never the top guy.
Yeah, that's another thing I wanted to get into today. Looking at the Shield, Seth went on to have this success first, then followed Roman. Dean was kind of the odd child out, or whatever. So I mean, plus I mean, look at it. The Triple H factor. Roman beat him at Mania. Seth beat him at Mania. Dean and Hunter had that match at Roadblock. Dean wasn't going to beat him. He was unsuccessful. He was kind of always... I feel like Dean was always kind of thought of the lesser than factor of the Shield. Because Roman, he has the look.
Even though when the Shield first started, he was the leader.
Yeah, he was the leader, yeah. But, look at Roman. He was the pretty boy. Seth, he was the chosen one, the undisputed future, as he was once coined. And then Dean was always kind of the odd guy out. But... so it's interesting to see how we're gonna move forward with Dean Ambrose. Maybe he and Hunter go at it at Mania.
I don't know. I mean, I speculated that Aleister Black dumped him out at the Royal Rumble, thinking possibly this could set up a feud. I think Dean Ambrose being a heel going up against Aleister Black, a first feud. Obviously, Dean would lose. Put Aleister Black over. Is this at WrestleMania? Maybe is that Fastlane or Elimination Chamber? Possibly. But I think Dean Ambrose. We haven't really talked about Dean Ambrose's potential, but I think Dean Ambrose can be a very good. I think he can be a great heel. Like, if he's a top heel in AEW, I think since he is kind of the guy who we don't see on social media, he's kind of he's quirky, so he can kind of be the guy to go up against Hangman Page or Cody or the Young Bucks, someone who's, really big on social media, and Jon Moxley can be the guy who's, a fuddy-duddy and just, makes fun of, and we can see his true potential, because we saw it a little bit at the beginning of the Shield. Now it's kind of the closest we've ever seen to Jon Moxley, but I think people who I've never seen Jon Moxley personally, I've seen clips of him, but I never lived it, going over to AEW, seeing what he can do would be fantastic.
That's true, because, Dean, I mean, I've heard he doesn't like quirky stuff, and you look at what he was doing when he was the Lunatic Fringe with the hot dog cart and the ketchup and
even what he was doing
stuff.
as a heel.
Yeah, even at that new stuff, wearing the mask and getting a shot to immunize himself from all the dirty people. I mean, come on, the guy turned heel the night that his other brother announced that he was battling leukemia. That's brilliant booking. I don't know why WWE didn't really run with it, or is Dean Ambrose going to be one of the cases where in the coming weeks, since he since this has come out, is he going to really get some fire main event booking, and then it could kind of change his mind to maybe I could stay here for a little bit longer to continue this story if need be.
Possibly. I mean, it's not like he rejected them, but it's not like there's any bad blood with him in WWE. It's not official. I mean, obviously he can't sign any contract with any other company until his contract runs out, so it's not out of the realm possibility that if they book him strong, that he can sign a contract at the 11th hour, kind of like what CM Punk did. But I think Dean Ambrose, being in the PG environment, yes, we talk about the PG environment a lot, but I think with him and the scripting, I think he's one of those people, if he goes outside of the company and he's, the reins are taken off, you might say, Dean can definitely flourish and beat me. He's not like a great wrestler by any means. I think Seth is definitely a better wrestler, but I think Dean can be a better character.
What happens with Renee Young? Does she do the CM Punk AJ Lee route where AJ waited until a year until her contract was up? Then she left with her husband, or
I think this is a different. I think this is a different issue, as I said. Like CM Punk and WWE had heat.
Yeah.
Dean Ambrose doesn't really have heat with WWE, so I think Renee, obviously, she's getting a big push, being the first ever full-time announcer, and she has a sports background. So if she were to leave WWE, she can fall back on that. She can't, she doesn't have to be like a Mandy Rose.
Yeah, or does she do the Mandy Rose? Cody left and Mandy left. She left with her husband. Does that happen?
I don't know. I mean, I haven't heard anything to say that Renee's looking to leave. I don't know why she would want to leave, but I mean, if she sees what's going on with Dean, if she sees okay, maybe this AEW thing is fun, and I can be I've never seen Renee Young be a great actress, or someone could be in the wrestling realm. She's much better as a sports analyst or a commentator.
Backstage interviewer.
So I don't think we would I don't think a Cody and Brandy against Jon Moxley and Renee Paquette or whatever her real name is would be or Renee Moxley.
Oh.
Ooh. I don't know if that would be a good feud, but I mean, I don't know if I could ever see Renee Young turning heel on the indie scene, but
nah, she's too likable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean, she could possibly go to ESPN or some other television sports thing, but I don't know if she'd ever be a wrestling personality like Brandy.
I don't know, man. She did WWE Canada before she signed with WWE, so you never know.
Yeah, but that's not being like a character. She can be, as I said, I mean, she could be a backstage interviewer maybe, but then you also have the thing of her and Dean Ambrose that can. I mean, they haven't really been leaning on that too much lately on WWE, but
I mean, it goes back to that thing with that rivalry Dean had with the Miz, and Miz was interviewed by Renee Young, and he was like, "You're the one sleeping with him," and she slapped him. I thought we were gonna get a little insight into the relationship of Renee and Dean, and maybe get more of an interest of Renee as a character on TV, but you never know. It's gonna be very interesting to see where we go with Dean Ambrose and his WWE situation. All right, moving on from that, Sam Roberts.
your boy.
Yeah, my boy. Yes, he is under fire for the things he said about Bianca Belair on the NXT Takeover Phoenix kickoff show. He said it was sort of a waste of an opportunity for an NXT Women's Championship match, or didn't feel like Belair was ready. He's been under fire by this. Belair after her match, after she is no longer undefeated, she was interviewed by some NXT personality, and she told Sam Roberts that he can kiss her ass. Mark Henry's gone on Busted Open and believes that Sam Roberts should apologize to Bianca Belair. I listened to Sam's show today. It dropped early this morning, and he said WWE invites him to share his honest thoughts and that he will not apologize. What are your thoughts on this?
So I never watched the pre-shows to be honest, but what I've heard is that Sam is kind of the shooter, you might say. He'll come on there and he'll say some stuff that might, bleed fiction with reality. He says some stuff like this. Do I agree with it in reality or in kayfabe? Not really. I mean, Bianca Belair is undefeated. I think she's shown up, she's grown exponentially since she's been in the Mae Young Classic. I mean, I can see why people can get like offended or angry at him, but I mean, I don't know what the dynamic is with him in the WWE panel in the pre-shows. Like, was he scripted to say that? Maybe, maybe not.
Nah,
I'm not out here to get like super offended by him. I mean, who really cares?
Sam's out there shooting what he feels. Honestly, I have the same feelings. Like Bianca Belair, I've seen her stuff. Is she really ready for this type of platform to showcase what she can do? After that match, after the way she reacted to not getting the pinfall over Baszler, I'm like, oh my god, this girl's ready for the NXT main event. So
I still feel like she has a way to go in the ring.
Yeah.
But I think as a character, I think she's definitely gotten a lot better since 2 years ago in the Mae Young Classic.
She showed that vulnerability, so there's going to be room for Bianca Belair in the NXT Women's Division and as a future NXT Women's Champion. All right, so next week the AEW ticket announce party will be taking place on February 7th. So what kind of? I know tickets are going to be announced. What else do you think they're going to be talking about?
Well, we saw on Being the Elite on Monday that it seems as though Kenny Omega's phone was found, and it looks like there was a ticket, or not a ticket, but a tick-down timer, whatever, and it seems as though it coincides exactly with this party. So it seems as though Kenny Omega will be announced as being a signee. Will they set up a match? I mean, who knows? Will they have somebody else? So maybe we can have whatever Kenny's doing at Double or Nothing. But I think, as we've said, I think we're both probably going to be going to Vegas. So this going to keep a keen eye for that to see when the tickets go on sale, what the prices are, just to line everything up.
Yes. I'm excited. I really am. The MGM Grand seems like a great venue for this stuff. I can't wait to go Double or Nothing with the Bucks and Cody.
They're trying to apparently break the record for largest wrestling crowd at the MGM Grand, which is, a historic old WCW arena. Don't know when the last time WWE's even ran here, if they have it all.
Do you know the exact attendance?
They're aiming between 12 to 13, so maybe, 13.
That's higher than All In.
It is high, so it is like the next step over, because you can do the college arena that WWE usually runs, or you can do the T-Mobile arena, which is the big hockey arena, which could fit up to 20,000 people or whatever. I don't think they're ready to take that step, but I think 12 to 13, obviously, with All In selling out in a half hour, they could have possibly gotten to 13, maybe 15. So yeah. I think going to this, next step, next 2,000 people, definitely, especially since it's the first AEW show, there's going to be a lot of hype behind it. Maybe not as much as All In. Maybe if they build the right amount of people, do they announce Dean Ambrose showing up? Do Dean Ambrose show up at the end of the show to set up the next show in Jacksonville? It's going to be AEW. I'm definitely excited to see what they do in the next coming months.
Yeah, I'm excited. They're really dominating the wrestling world, the IWC rather, with all the dirt sheets and Kenta, he's going to be leaving WWE. He should go to AEW. all that stuff.
I completely forgot about Kenta. I mean, even last week we were talking about, or like 2 weeks ago, we were talking about maybe people to go to AEW, and I even brought up Kenta being one of them. Is he going to AEW? Maybe, but that's just what AEW is, because since they don't have a lot of dates, they could bring international people in like Pac or Kenta, and he can go to DDT or No or whatever Japanese promotion he wants to reside in, but he could come in for AEW every now and then. Kenta, I haven't seen exactly what he's been doing in AEW, but what he was doing in Japan before he was in WWE was fantastic. If he comes in and he can be that guy, I mean, a Kenny Omega match, that would be just phenomenal to see, but who knows what they're going to do.
I will say this about Kenta Hideo Itami. When he first came in, he was the first big Japanese signee. He was hot. He got injured. Finn Balor and Kevin Owens, they took off in NXT. He came back, got injured again, came back, did his little thing with Bobby Roode at that Chicago takeover, then went over to 205 Live. The Kenta Hideo Itami experiment has failed. I will say that. I mean, he was just on the Royal Rumble kickoff show, sure, but it has failed. He needs to leave the company and go reinvent himself, or just go back to doing what he was doing in Japan. And then, if that door is still open for a relationship with the WWE, he could come back, and hopefully he's no longer injury prone, and maybe they can do business somewhere down the line.
I mean, I was there for the first official NXT takeover.
Oh yeah,
in San Jose, and he hit the GTS on was it Prince Pretty, Tyler Breeze, and
you guys popped.
I was a massive pop, and it's one of those things that I kind of forget that I was even there. But then looking back on it, I was like, geez, that was a real special moment, because it was the first match of the show. Crowd was super hot, and he hit the GTS for the first time, and it was amazing.
Yeah, that was didn't Charlotte and Sasha Banks main event that one?
They didn't main event, but they definitely had the best match.
Oh, okay.
Finn Balor came out with his little mini demon attire. So that was fun.
Right on, right on.
Got to see Alexa Bliss and Bayley.
Oh.
And Becky Lynch.
Sparkle Splash?
It was a Sparkle Splash. This was before she was with what's the name?
Murphy and Blake.
Blake and Murphy.
Blake and Murphy, yes. All right, Roman Reigns is in the upcoming Hobbs and Shaw movie. It's a Fast and the Furious spinoff. He'll be playing the brother of his cousin, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Thoughts on this?
Yeah, The Rock announced this over the weekend. Good news to see Roman Reigns being healthy enough. I don't know the exact timetable of when this stuff took place, but The Rock has been on Instagram kind of talking about he's finishing up filming. So obviously maybe Roman has been doing some stuff the last couple months. Obviously, I don't know how chemo or whatever he exactly has to do for his leukemia treatment apparently hasn't affected him too much, which is a good sign, but I'm not going to take this as he's going to come back and wrestle at WrestleMania anytime soon.
I have some WrestleMania plans for Roman that I want to talk about later in the show.
I mean, if he wants to show up with Seth Rollins, I'm fine with that. I don't know if he should be wrestling.
No, not wrestling, absolutely not, no. But I have some ideas. All right, Jack Swagger wins his Bellator debut at Bellator 214, so congratulations to him.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it on Twitter. The match was only a few minutes long. I watched the whole thing. Not a spectacular performance.
Not a barn burner.
Not a barn burner, but it didn't show him that he sucks. It didn't really show that he's going to be a prodigy. But if he started off 10 years ago and he was younger, he has the great wrestling background. He's a lengthy guy. He definitely could do something if he gets the right training. He gets the stuff like that. But maybe he's going to take the next step, maybe face a mid-card guy, you might say, and we can maybe see a little bit better where he is.
Yes. R-Truth wrapped him down to the octagon, right? Octagon?
It's not an octagon, it's a circle.
Down to the circle.
Down to the cage.
The cage.
There you go.
Yeah. Congratulations.
And apparently he still does like the We the People gimmick, even though it's maybe not the best thing to do in this environment.
Yeah.
Especially since like Zeb Coulter or Dutch said that Donald Trump went up to him at WrestleMania and said I really like what you're doing.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe Dutch Mantel has some influence on the president.
Yes. All right, Roe from the War Raiders and
new NXT Tag Team Champions.
New NXT Tag Team Champions. I should have picked those boys. Maybe I would have done something right at that prediction. All right. Roe and Sarah Logan from the Riot Squad, they get married. And Paul Playley, who does our graphic designs, who was on the Royal Rumble analysis with me, he told me about this. I saw the video on WWE PC YouTube channel, and they really lived that Viking lifestyle. It was a Viking wedding.
I mean, good for them.
Shout out, Yeah. Would you ever have a Viking wedding?
If it's free, sure, but it wouldn't be my first choice. Shout out to Roe and Sarah Logan, just another one of those wrestling couples that might not put two and two together, but if they're happy, good for them.
Yes. All right, Halftime Heat is making its return. What is it, this Sunday?
Yes, it is this Sunday, the
This
same
Sunday?
day as the Super Bowl.
Yes. I didn't know when the Super Bowl was, man. I don't watch football. We don't
Do you know
this.
who's even in the game?
The Patriots?
And
The Patriots. That's all that matters.
I mean, you're wearing the other team's colors.
Really? Who is it, man? Just tell me.
It's the Los Angeles Rams.
Really?
Yes.
Dude.
Should have been the Saints, but the Saints got screwed over with the
Dude, it's all
with
about
the,
the Patriots, bro.
the
It's all
defensive
about Tom
pass
Brady.
interference that wasn't exactly called defensive pass interference. But we're not going to talk about that because I'm salty. I'm a Saints fan. I'm still going to pick the Rams to win the Super Bowl, but that's besides the point.
Dude, it's all about the Patriots. It's all about the Patriots.
Who's on the Patriots besides Tom Brady?
Dude, it doesn't. Tom Brady is the Patriots. It doesn't matter. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Halftime Heat. It was this concept that was developed back in the late '90s, where WWE would put on a halftime show during the Super Bowl's halftime show. It would coincide as soon as halftime started in that empty arena match with Mankind and The Rock, which we will talk about later on, was the result of this. And so this Sunday we get, what is it? Aleister Black, Velveteen Dream, Ricochet versus NXT champion Tommaso Ciampa, North American champion Johnny Gargano, and
Adam Cole, baby.
Adam Cole, baby. He's in the match too. Yeah.
Set up after the NXT Takeover show. People were like talking about what happened, where's this going to lead to, and then we saw Royal Rumble. They announced this 6-man tag match. It's on Twitter, it's on YouTube, so you don't have to watch the WWE Network. You can actually like watch the halftime show and halftime heat at the same time, which is probably what I'm going to do. Probably put the phone down when Travis Scott comes out. But
Wow, not a Travis Scott fan.
I said I'll put the phone down to watch Travis Scott.
Okay.
I'm not gonna watch Maroon 5, which apparently WWE has heat with Maroon 5, and I don't think they're ever gonna come and do a WWE thing.
Really, they have heat with Maroon 5.
Did you not see the commercial? They were making fun of Maroon 5. They're like, why would you want to watch Maroon 5 when you can watch
Oh, really? Because
NXT?
Maroon 5 let WWE use one of their songs back in the
They did make fun of Travis
mid-2000s.
Scott, which is good, or else I'd have heat with WWE.
Oh yeah, Travis Scott, Antidote, open up that window. Heyo, sicko mode, all that good stuff.
Okay, we're really pulling out the deep cuts.
I know, I am. All right, so apparently, Evan Bourne Abyss. We interviewed that guy once.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Back with our BTW days, which was the end of those BTW days because you called them APW. But that's beside the point.
I don't remember it like that. And Sanjay Dutt. Apparently, they're all done with Impact Wrestling. Sanjay Dutt and Abyss have apparently been gone to WWE for some backstage producer roles, and then Evan Bourne, Matt Sydal, he's been offered contracts from apparently AEW and WWE, or they've been in talks. So where'd you like to see Evan Bourne go?
Evan Bourne, I don't exactly. I mean, he's a good wrestler. He's one of those guys that is he valuable to maybe he's more valuable to AEW just because he can mean more. They can maybe do a little bit more with him than what WWE would do. He could be on that mid card, maybe put him on 205 Live. So I don't know exactly where he would land if he was on either show, but I would probably just push him to AEW just because I think he can maybe reach higher highs. But whatever he wants to do, you do you, boo. Maybe we get to see him and Kofi reunite.
Hey, there we go.
Boom.
Former WWE Tag Team Champions. Lost them here in the Bay to Primo and Epico at an Oakland house show back in, was that 2011 or 12?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right, Jeff Jarrett and Shane Helms have also been brought on as WWE producers, so that's interesting. We got to see Jeff Jarrett in the Royal Rumble. Got to see him on Monday Night Raw. Thoughts on this?
Yeah, this looks as though they're bringing in more producers, maybe getting them ready for when they do the split between Raw and SmackDown, and SmackDown's going to be on Friday. You don't want to have both, you can't have both producers travel and do all this stuff for Friday to Monday, blah, blah, blah. So maybe, just bringing in more people, more bodies, so you can have a real split crew between Raw and SmackDown.
Yes. All right, a fan was asked to remove his AEW shirt at the Royal Rumble. Have you seen the footage of this?
I have seen the footage of this.
What are your thoughts?
Well, I think I've seen people talk about this. The legal ramifications, I think WWE is within their right to do this.
Yeah.
Is it a good move, PR-wise? Maybe not. I don't exactly know what the long-term effects is this. I mean, I have seen some AEW shirts on Raw and SmackDown the past couple days. It's not a good look for WWE, obviously. If it was me, I wouldn't have done it just because, it's one person. Do you really need... Is that
He's
one
in the front row.
Is that... I know, but is that one person really going to, turn everyone who doesn't know about AEW onto AEW, like, oh my god,
You never know.
what does that guy's shirt mean? I'm gonna look up what AEW is, and it's just gonna roll downhill, and they making a mountain out of a molehill. I think is what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean it's just a simple like if you're gonna go to a WWE show, wear a WWE shirt.
Well, I mean, it was only like what 2-3 years ago where everywhere you look, there's I mean, even now there's still Bullet Club shirts everywhere.
Yeah,
you can't exactly tell people what to wear, but when it comes,
you can't.
I mean, legally, I think you can because like WWE owns the venue and they can tell you what not to. I mean, I'm not a lawyer. I just play one on TV, so I don't exactly know what they're doing.
Just play one on air,
but it's not a good look for them. Even the Young Bucks, I think Matt Jackson
said you can wear whatever you want.
You can wear WWE shirts to AEW shows. So I think it's just another check mark for AEW getting that goodwill with fans and being like, look, WWE's the bad guy. Even going back to Dean Ambrose when they did the whole, their statement on Instagram. WWE needs to be seen as a good company, bring up good morale, and if they are kicking people to the curb and being like, screw you guys, go over to AEW, I think that just helps AEW's momentum even more.
Yeah, I mean, look, just we're the company that you're going to. Sure, it's just that simple. When I go to Double or Nothing, I will be wearing Elite or AEW memorabilia. It's just that simple,
I mean, we go to APW shows. You don't wear APW stuff.
Hey, now, hold on. I mean, I don't have any yet. I don't know if they have a store or do I just buy from the merch table or what if they have other things that I might like that I don't see right then and there,
I don't care. Wear whatever shirt you want. It's America. This is America.
It's Trump's America.
This is America.
All right. Inside the ring, WWE Worlds Collide. It's a tournament that's taking place this Saturday. Who will be in it? Adam Cole, Velveteen Dream, Tyler Bate, Zach Gibson. So it's going to be NXT UK, and 205 Live. It's going to be good stuff. I can't wait.
You got taped last week before Royal Rumble. Haven't exactly seen what has gone on, what the spoilers are. The gimmick is whoever wins gets like a shot at a championship on their show. So a lot of good talent should be nice. Just more stuff to put on the WWE Network.
Yes, of
that
course.
I'm probably not going to watch.
I have to watch this. Must do. All right, Brandon, what are your thoughts on the Royal Rumble?
Overall, that was a good show. Very, very, very long. Unnecessarily long. You could have cut out so many matches. You could have cut out the tag team title match. You could have cut out, the women's match, especially what happened with, you could have cut out the Becky Asuka match, especially with what happened with Becky Lynch. You could have just had that match cut, have Becky come in as a entrant. Just we all know she's gonna be there, and then she comes in, like a house of fire, kicks ass, and throws people to the top rope and wins the whole thing.
I mean, the Women's Royal Rumble was 72 minutes. They could have cut that down way shorter. I feel some people have said the woman's entrance should be 30-second intervals, and I mean, that'll make the match go by quick, but there's no reason like 12 women should be in the ring at the same time. You didn't need the Maria and Alicia Fox spot and all that other stuff. Yeah.
But overall, I mean, every match in the bubble was good to great, but I think since there was just so much stuff going on that you could have cut it down. I don't know why, but I feel like I enjoyed the women's match maybe a little bit more just because there was a lot more surprises and more people coming in than the men's match. The men's match was kind of just straightforward. You had the Jeff Jarrett stuff, but it was all just kind of building towards the Seth Rollins win at the end. Put it in a little wrinkle with Braun Strowman maybe, got to put the big guy over, but Seth Rollins gets the win in the very end. Match by match, I think also the Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles stuff could have been cut down a lot.
Yeah, that went 24 minutes. It could have been
easily 18 to 15.
Yeah. All right, this day in wrestling, Samoa Joe makes his main roster debut in WWE in 2017, where he attacks Seth Rollins and re-injures Seth Rollins' knee when he puts him in the Coquina clutch.
Remember that.
Yes.
Put in the Triple H match in Jeopardy.
Yes.
Good times.
All right, the Radicals debut in 2000. Who are the Radicals? Perry Saturn, Dean Malenko, the late Eddie Guerrero, and the late Chris Benoit.
I mean, not much to say there. Just maybe one of the more historical debuts, just because it was kind of like the last big group of people to jump from WCW to WWF and kind of really cementing like WCW is done.
It's kind of crazy. Like the two that had the most success in the WWE out of this group are no longer with us.
I don't know exactly what to pull from that, but it is the truth.
I think it's kind of crazy. Yeah. I mean, Dean Malenko backstage producer with the WWE now. All right, Giant Baba dies on this day in 1999. Japan legend. I think he had some run-ins with Andre the Giant. I'm not exactly sure.
I mean, yeah, Giant Baba, one of the legends of Japan wrestling, started up All Japan and all that other stuff. But yeah,
All right, Giant Gonzalez would have been 53 on this day. He was one of the Undertaker's victims at WrestleMania, resulting in that streak. I think it was a WrestleMania 9.
it was WrestleMania 9 when the Undertaker didn't even really lose. He didn't win. He just got Giant Gonzalez got disqualified.
Yes.
With a chloroform.
Yes. All right, and then Fit Finley is 61 today.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that Giant Gonzalez would have been 53 because we're talking about WrestleMania 9, and that's almost 30 years ago. So that just shows how young he was back when he was wrestling. And I mean, Giant Gonzalez, obviously is kind of a meme about his suit and all the other stuff. He had Fit Finlay, one of the greatest UK wrestlers of all time. Maybe could have been utilized a little bit better in WWE. But January 31st, a very historical day for birthdays. Also, Jackie Robinson's 100th birthday today.
Really?
Yes.
Fascinating, R.I.P. Jackie Robinson, Black History Month's coming up. We will be doing some Black Excellence stuff on the podcast coming up in the month of February. All right, we got some fan mail, so let's just get into it. We got like 5 of them this week.
Oh my god, they better be good.
I know. The Status Quo. Heard the episode last week, did some research. Randy Orton has 4 face and 4 heel turns, which is a total of 8. Big Show has a total of 34 turns, 17 face, 17 heel. I guess we were talking about Randy Orton going back and forth. I guess that's what that's about.
I mean, but really, eight turns in
total
in 15 years. I mean, that is kind of a lot. Like, if it was me, you would turn like every 5 years.
I mean, Orton stayed heel for quite some time. Let's not forget. It was like 05 to 2010? 5 years, yeah.
I'm not the biggest Randy Orton fan, so I really don't care.
Wow. Randy Orton is a gem. That RKO and Nia Jax, beautiful. Excellent.
By the way, why is Nia Jax even in the Royal Rumble? Why? I mean,
dude, you didn't like that?
It was just like, okay, like she's a woman, yeah, she's a bigger woman wrestling with all these dudes, but like, come on.
She's the only woman to be in both Royal Rumbles in the same night. That's historical.
I mean, it's historical because there's only been 2 years of that, but whatever.
All right. Hootie Hoo 420.
Hootie Hoo.
I know I'm late, but what's your favorite Royal Rumble? Mine. 2008. The Garden Rumble, the short ramp Rumble. Cena returns at number 30. He was supposed to be gone for like 6 months. Came back in like 2.5, 3. Wins. Yeah. I think I'll go with that one.
I'll be honest, I like the Royal Rumble. It's a nice, fun concept, but, I don't really remember them as much as I do like WrestleMania matches. So I don't know if I would say like my favorite. I think maybe my favorite Rumble is like maybe, the easy one to pick, and it's not even one I watched, was 92, just because it's like the best one of all time. But, I mean, I like the 2001, 2002 Royal Rumbles. Those are good. But, I mean, maybe ones that I've seen, I lived. I mean, especially the last few years, it's been kind of hard because we haven't really seen what we wanted to see, like those Daniel Bryan Royal Rumbles that we wanted. But
yeah. All right, Camel Crush. If Kenny Omega comes to WWE, what 3 wrestlers do you want to see him face or feud with that aren't Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, Daniel Bryan, or AJ Styles?
I mean, I think everyone that I want to see him feud with isn't even in WWE at the moment. It's probably people that are in NXT. I mean, if Kenny comes in as a babyface, I mean, Adam Cole, Tommaso Ciampa, even like a Ricochet match. I mean, those matches would be phenomenal. But if you have to make you pick one from WWE,
you said pick 3.
Pick 3. Well,
main roster. I think I'd like to see Kenny versus Roman. I'd like to see it. I think it'd be good.
I mean, Kenny versus John Cena would be fun to see.
Yeah, I'd like to see Kenny versus John Cena too. And then if I'm gonna go for another one,
Or you can pick Nakamura, even though they've done that before. Samoa Joe's also another one. Nice heel dynamic that you can see having a great match. Randy Orton, I mean, he's a heel. You can have some heat put on him.
Kenny and Randy, there you go.
But I just don't think Randy would want to take V triggers to the face.
You never know what Randy's down to do. You never know. So yeah. All right, Chili Varde. What the?
Chili bowl?
Yeah, I guess that new WWE title is made out of avocado toast.
It's not made out of avocado toast. It's made out of hemp, naturally fallen oak, and naturally harvest rocks.
Oh my god, that's funny. I don't know why I laughed. All right, last one, Staples with a Z. What is it like working with each other? That's fine.
I put up with them. See them once a week is good enough.
You put up with me. Hold on, I'm a gem. Okay. God, I brought you all this fame.
Yep, all this fame.
How dare you? Yes.
We're back to our roots. We're back in this lovely studio.
Yes, we're back in this dull, boring office. Never forget your roots, kids. Alright, let's talk about Monday Night Raw. What happened? So, the Raw Women's Champion, Rowdy Ronda Rousey, has an open challenge, so to speak. Bayley accepts it. She defeats Bayley. And then, who shows up? The man. We expected this. Becky Lynch has chosen Ronda Rousey for her championship opportunity at WrestleMania. Thoughts?
Well, taking it step by step, the Ronda Rousey promo she cut beforehand was just... It was hard to watch. I'll be honest, I didn't even watch it. I was fast forwarding. I just went straight to the Bayley match, and I skipped over the Ronda Rousey promo because I wasn't paying attention. But the promo, the first one was terrible, and I think it just kind of highlights that when WWE scripts out everything word by word, when things just go down the toilet and they just go off the rails, that wrestlers are...
Well,
I don't know if it's wrestlers can't do it or they're just scared to do it.
Apparently, Ronda's writing her own promos. This is what I hear. Don't know how true that is.
So if she's writing her own promos, then she should have the freedom to change it if she wants.
Yeah.
She should be able to just go on the fly and know where she wants to go. I don't know, if as long as she just ends up with challenging somebody, I think that would have been fine. But I think the first promo was hard to watch. The match itself with Bayley was good, but then as we talked about, the Fire promo, the Fire, just everything between Becky and Ronda just showed that this match has to be one-on-one. It doesn't matter if Ronda's leaving. I think people will boo Ronda Rousey maybe because she's leaving or just because of what she's been doing leading up to this Mania match. But I think Becky going against Ronda one-on-one is where it needs to be.
I have thoughts on that. We're going to get to that once I talk about Smackdown. But look, one thing I found really cool, because Bayley and Becky, they've been separated forever. They threw the 4 up to each other, so kind of signaling that, keeping that in our heads. Becky Lynch's promo, it was great. I enjoyed it. Ronda Rousey's promo against Becky, the content was good. The delivery was god-awful. It was the drizzling, what. It was very bad.
Why, just because she was really intense? I quite liked her intensity.
No, I mean, the intensity was fine. The delivery, it didn't sit with me. It did not.
Why?
It's not working. On the mic, it's not working. Ronda Rousey is great when she says 2 sentences. That's when she's good. All right? Like I said, the content was good. Becky and Ronda are the same age. I think Ronda's birthday's tomorrow, so happy birthday, Ronda. Happy belated birthday, Becky.
Becky's birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday, Becky.
Yeah, exactly. So, Ronda said, she's been a household name for 10 years, dominating UFC and judo and all this other stuff. That's great. While Becky was training, like I said, content good, delivery very bad.
I think the delivery was good. Maybe the lines, maybe word for word, maybe could have been a little bit better. It did feel a little bit scripted. But I thought just the way that Ronda was delivering her lines and just yelling at Becky while Becky's just in there with her smug look on her face, just being like, I just riled you up and I know I'm in your head. It kind of reminded me, maybe not to the exact same lengths of Holly Holm versus Ronda, because Holly wasn't trying to rile up Ronda, but Holly was just cool, calm, and collected. And Ronda was just going off on tangents and just saying I'm gonna kill her, and all this other BS.
Yeah,
when Holly was
kicked in the head.
Yeah, and then she just get kicked in the head because Ronda maybe was getting over aggressive. And I think maybe they're not trying to do this, but I really liked how Becky came across, just staring at Ronda. And then even when she posted "You shook Ronnie" on Instagram the next day, I definitely think they're playing into that.
Yeah, so it's gonna be very interesting to see where that happens. All right, so Seth Rollins was given a choice by Triple H by the end of tonight. You need to decide who you're going to go up against. WWE Champion, the new Daniel Bryan, or Universal Champion Brock Lesnar. It went the direction we all knew it would. Seth Rollins chooses the Beast, and the Beast delivers a message to Seth Rollins, hitting him with like 5 or 6 F5s to end Monday Night Raw.
The match itself, or the promo that Seth Rollins cut at the beginning, I thought was really good. Definitely kind of building off what he did last week. Just really good babyface promos from Seth the past couple weeks. And then, yes, him. I mean, it wasn't even like clear cut that he chose Brock Lesnar at the end of the show, but then they just kind of threw it up on the website later, like, oh, it's official that Seth is going to face Brock. But itself, it was fine for what it was. I maybe not the biggest fan of Brock just laying out Seth just like that. I would have been fine of just maybe having just a straight up challenge, and then maybe Brock goes after him, but Seth is able to like kind of scurry away, or maybe like put Brock on his ass and just show that Seth can put up a fight against him. And when he was leaning up against the ropes, I was just waiting for him to just flip him off or do something, and then just fade to black that way. I thought that would have been a much better way to end the show, but apparently you can't flip people off in today's day and age. But that's just how I would have ended the show.
All right, so look, this is what I want to talk about, the whole Roman thing. Paul Heyman, he's the advocate. He doesn't get involved in matches. Like, he doesn't cost people matches. So let's say it's WrestleMania, it's the main event. Seth hits that stomp. 1, 2, Heyman pulls the referee or pulls Seth. Something like that happens. And then his music can hit. Crowd pops. We're all kind of like, oh my god. Roman runs down. He doesn't have to wrestle. Doesn't have to take any bumps. Kind of gives Heyman a Superman punch or shoves him or whatever. And then, Seth can go and hit that curb stomp again on Brock or whatever and beat him for the title. The point is, we're coming up on the 30th anniversary of the Mega Powers imploding or whatever. We're coming up on the 31st anniversary of Macho Man overcoming DiBiase and the Giant to become WWF Champion. And who was with him? By his side, Hulk Hogan. Who's going to be by Seth's side when he's holding up the Universal title? This new generation's Hulk Hogan and a young up-and-coming Roman Reigns. And then we can have this build, because the Mega Powers, despite what I think about Hulk Hogan, it's probably the greatest story ever told in wrestling. We have this build to WrestleMania 36 of Seth versus Roman. Get that real Seth versus Roman feud that we never really got.
With Roman as a heel?
Roman could be a heel.
He better be a heel.
Sure, why not,
But anyways, I mean, the way you lay it out, that's fine. I mean, he could get involved. Roman can get involved with the match. I would just keep it straight up one-on-one. Have Seth beat Brock clean. Basically what Finn Balor does, but just actually get the victory. If you want to bring Roman out, you could bring him out at WrestleMania, but then you can also bring him out the day after on Raw to have like that really big moment. I would just kind of keep it with Seth right now. Just put all the heat on Seth and just have him, just beat Brock one-on-one, clean as a whistle, no shenanigans, just to prove that Seth is the man, so to speak.
Okay. All right. I mean, we have a lot of time to build to this, so,
we're 10 weeks away.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right. Nia Jax and Tamina defeat Mickie James and Alexa Bliss. They qualify for the Elimination Chamber Women's Tag Team title match.
Who are we supposed to cheer in this feud? I thought maybe Alexa Bliss turned face last week, and then she's with Mickie James. And Mickie James, of all people, calls Nia Jax a pig. Not the best look for her.
You're supposed to cheer Mickie and Alexa because Nia and Tamina are clear cutthroat heels.
But are we supposed to cheer Mickie and Alexa Bliss because they're cute? They're cuter than Nia Jax and Tamina. What?
Nia Jax and Tamina are very beautiful.
I know, but what's the exact point of these 4 women? Because all of them, in their own rights, are heels, and they're just going up against each other. Maybe that just kind of shows that we.
Sometimes you need heel versus heel, Brandon. Sometimes you do.
Sure, why not? But we didn't exactly talk about the Dean Ambrose stuff that happened on Raw, but
it's in here somewhere.
I don't think it is. I looked through it. I think
not.
Dean Ambrose's stuff is not in here.
It's not. I mean, we talked about it when we talked about Ambrose leaving.
But just once again, Nia Jax beating up on men. If this is a feud from Nia Jax to go up against Dean Ambrose, I think that helps Dean Ambrose in the long run, just because it shows that, okay, he's getting jobbed out to a woman, and that's just like, okay, he's not being utilized the way he should be. And
what if this leads to Nia to the Intercontinental title like it did to China?
I do not think that's a good idea. I don't think you should be having. I mean, we've talked about this in the past.
Intergender wrestling is not your thing.
I'm not a big fan of intergender matches. Yes, Nia Jax is a bigger woman, so it's technically more believable. But then it just kind of puts. I think it just puts the men in an awkward position. Like the woman's beating him up, but then if he beats the woman up, then he gets the wrong kind of heat put on him, even though we all know it's fake and all the blah 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 blah. But I think that's just something. I think it's something you don't want as WWE. They shouldn't really be into, just because I think it's just unnecessary headaches.
Yeah. We shall see. All right, former Constable Corbin, defeats Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle gets his sad little promo beforehand. He's in the Royal Rumble. He gets dumped out like nothing. I don't know what they're doing with Kurt Angle. It seems as though he's getting jobbed out before he leaves the territory. When he lost to Drew McIntyre a few weeks ago or a couple months ago, I was thinking like, okay, maybe they're trying to build up some sort of redemption story. It's still in line with him doing some sort of redemption, but I mean, Drew McIntyre is on a completely different level than Baron Corbin, and I just don't think Kurt Angle should be jobbing clean to Corbin at this point, or ever.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing with Kurt Angle. I'm sure Kurt's going to get his comeuppance over Corbin, and then Drew McIntyre, I don't know, maybe he'll get his comeuppance over McIntyre. We don't know. We'll have to wait and see for that. All right, Lashley, the current Intercontinental Champion, attacks Finn Balor, so possibly setting up Balor versus Lashley for the IC title.
It's a good feud, good way to, I guess, get Finn to something else after he loses to Brock. The promo itself that Finn cut, it was fine. It was honestly like a loser promo, like, oh, I put up a bigger fight than anybody thought I could, but I still lost, and blah 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 blah. But Lashley and Finn, it's kind of another feud where I don't think either guy should lose, so we're gonna get a lot of 50-50 booking and a lot of shenanigans going on here. But I don't know. I mean, it's fine for what it is. I don't know where they're gonna go from here. Do they stretch this out? Is this just to go to Fastlane or Elimination Chamber? I hope this isn't where Finn ends up for WrestleMania, but you never know.
It was an IC title match last year, but then again, Miz and Rollins were in that also. But Finn Balor, Intercontinental Champion, has a nice little ring to it. Give him some gold, since he hasn't had any since the Universal Championship. Yeah. All right, the Edgeheads get back together. Hawkins and Ryder take a big L to the Revival on Monday night.
They had something going with Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. I know the big pop is when Kurt Hawkins finally gets a win. So I don't exactly know how you book this without having Zack and Kurt win to like get them over. So then you put them up against the Revival, and then you think like, okay, maybe they're gonna win and get that cheap pop of Kurt getting the victory. But I mean, they had something, and then they just kind of bury it again with them losing. So I don't know, what do you do with them after this? Do you have them like beat like jobbers, and that's how he gets his first win, and then he works his way up to the Revival? But then once the story is Kurt Hawkins getting his first win, so do you just have them keep losing until they finally win? So is it like the B team where they just keep losing and they magically win the tag team championships?
No idea. Honestly, I could care less, and be honest with you.
You couldn't care less. Because if you could care less, you care enough.
I mean, so I look at it like this. It was good that they had continuity of showing the whole Edgehead thing back in 2008. That's what gave me some care in the world. But it's whatever, honestly. It's not that important to me. Yeah.
It's going to be just one of those C-level storylines that we're going to get on Raw every week.
Yeah. Who knows? Kurt Hawkins will get his first win, and I might come on this podcast and praise it to the heavens. We don't know. Elias takes out a pair of legends. So, Elias had his encounter with Jeff Jarrett. That's JEFFJARRETT on at the Royal Rumble. Then he has his encounter with him again on Raw. Jeff Jarrett calls him slap nuts, all this other stuff. Road Dogg comes out, and then they just start singing "With My Baby Tonight." Should we bust it out?
No, I'll be honest, I don't know the words. Just like Renee.
Wow.
I know.
It's a great song. Anyway, then Elias just smacks Road Dogg and Jarrett with some guitars, and yeah.
So it seems as though they're turning Elias heel.
Again.
Maybe they didn't want him to turn babyface in the first place, but as we've kind of talked about on this show, like, where does Elias go from here as a babyface? His whole shtick was trolling the crowd, so once he just put over the crowd, but then that doesn't make any sense, but I don't know where you go from here. Elias just meh. It's Elias.
It's Elias. I'm gonna walk with him, but you can't be taking out Jeff Jarrett with My Baby Tonight, my favorite country song ever. All right, Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan defeat Natalya and Dana Brooke to qualify for the Elimination Chamber Women's Tag Team Title match. Didn't know Natty and Dana Brooke were a tag team.
Well, they weren't. Originally, it was supposed to be her and Ember Moon. Ember Moon got injured during the Royal Rumble, so hopefully for a speedy recovery from her. But as they should, I think Liv and Sarah should have won since they are the established tag team, so good for them, I guess.
Yep. And also, Braun Strowman defeats Drew McIntyre via disqualification because Baron Corbin runs out and gets involved.
I think this is just a straightforward feud. Honestly, I hope Drew McIntyre wins this feud. I think Drew can be a bigger deal than Braun Strowman can, but I think it's just in the end, Braun's going to beat up everybody. But something that's not on the script that I think we should talk about is Mojo Rawley once again gets like his yearly mini push with his little promo when he talks to the mirror. I thought it was good, and I thought it's interesting to see. I think Mojo has some upside as a upper mid card heel.
Honestly, I heard about it, did not watch it, so I'll see what they do with him next week on Raw, and then I'll have to go back and watch this week's promo, and we can talk about it next week.
Okay.
Yep.
You just exposed yourself. You don't watch the product.
I didn't watch that thing. I watched everything else.
Usually I don't watch everything, but I actually watch this.
Oh, okay. All right.
Surprisingly.
Smackdown Live. The man came around. She talks about what she's going to do to Rowdy Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania. The Queen makes her way out there, Charlotte. So sympathetic with Becky, the fact that she won and all this other stuff. Becky's not having any of it. Jacks Charlotte's jaw. Then they brawl for a little bit. Look, people have been saying Becky Lynch is like Stone Cold Steve Austin, and I'm like, she does a Thez press, okay. She has the plain black tee with the white text, okay. But after Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday's booking, that was Austin. That was Austin-like booking. Sunday, Austin would have lost early in the show, and then he would have made his way out to the main event and won something like that. Raw would have cut a promo like that. Tuesday would have jacked somebody up with a stunner or just started stomping a mud hole. So, yeah, I see it now. Plus, she has the leg brace.
I mean, she's Becky Lynch. I don't see her as Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I'm not saying she is Austin. I'm saying, are there Austin-like tendencies? Sure.
I thought it was a good opening segment. I thought that if they were going to take steps towards this triple threat match, I thought Charlotte was going to come out and complain that Becky didn't deserve to be the Royal Rumble winner since she technically was like the last one standing who was legally in the match. So I think that's a good sign that Charlotte wasn't complaining that much about it, but we have a long way to go till we get to WrestleMania.
Charlotte's in this match.
So I'm hoping what they do, but even though I'm pretty sure it's not going to happen, is they like tease it of, Becky versus Charlotte at whatever you call it, Fastlane.
And then if Charlotte wins, she's in the match.
Yeah, and then have Becky. So people, I think, like, okay, Charlotte's winning. Something screwy is going to happen, but maybe in the end, Becky actually does win.
No.
Because I think, like, Becky versus Ronda at WrestleMania main event, having just a rematch of Charlotte and Asuka. Charlotte goes full blown heel because I think Charlotte definitely showed heel tendencies in this. So Charlotte goes full blown heel against Asuka. Asuka can get the win back. I think it makes a lot of sense.
I look at it like this. Look, Ronda versus Becky. Could it main event possibly? Will it? I have some doubts. I mean, let's think about this.
Did you not see how hot that crowd was?
I saw the crowd.
It should be the main event.
I'm hot for it. It should be, but it's going to be the main event if Charlotte's in there. Because let's look at it. Ronda, she's here for a good time, not a long time. All right, shout out Aubrey. Look, I look at it like this. You want this to be in the main event. You have Charlotte in that match. She doesn't have to win. She doesn't even have to be in the fall that decides the winner. But she's in the match, so she can say she was in the first ever women's main event.
And I don't think you should be doing that
that's
because
just the thing, man.
This isn't Little League where everybody gets a trophy.
Dude, look, Charlotte.
Becky earned that top spot. Charlotte didn't. Charlotte
has the name. She has the pedigree. All right.
Okay.
Charlotte Flair in the first ever women's main event of WrestleMania. Becky Lynch, us fans, yeah, we know her. But like Flair, that's a name everybody knows, man. That's the face that's going to be plastered in New York, New Jersey, come WrestleMania access and all that other stuff. It's going to be those three with Charlotte in the center. I see it. I see it.
I so much disagree with you on this because Becky is clearly the favorite, and yes,
Dude,
you can
Becky's
put.
my favorite.
But you can,
She is.
Why does Charlotte need to be in that match?
I just told you. Name. Pedigree.
That doesn't mean anything to me.
It means
If
we're
you
talking about money.
Okay, so in that case,
You're a money guy.
So in that case, then how come you don't put Stone Cold versus Shawn Michaels versus Rocky Maivia in the main event? No, because everybody wanted Stone Cold to kick Shawn Michaels' ass because everyone loves Stone Cold. Who cares? Yes, Charlotte might be a big name, but I think people will see. And I mean, if Charlotte is put in that match, how much hotter is that? I think it dilutes the match, to be honest. It doesn't make it as hot as it could be if it was just Becky versus Ronda.
Okay, then what does Charlotte do at Mania?
I just told you, put her up against Asuka.
Again?
Yeah. Have Charlotte clear-cut heel against Asuka. Asuka getting revenge. Asuka wins. Because who else is going to be on that SmackDown side to face Asuka if Asuka still is champion?
Mandy Rose.
You can have... I mean, no. No.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
You can have, put Mandy Rose in the fallopian tube over the top rope battle.
Wow. That's... Wow.
I mean, that's what the title looks like.
Some hot takes over here. It's getting a little hot.
That's why I took the jacket off before we started, because I knew I was going to spew some hot fire.
It's getting a little warm in here right now for me. All right, well, moving on from the Becky Charlotte things before we have steam coming out of our ears. R-Truth, since he did not get to officially participate in the Royal Rumble, he was awarded a United States Championship match against new champion Shinsuke Nakamura and beat him. R-Truth is our United States champion. And then, Rusev comes out there, wants a match for it. R-Truth beats Rusev. It's the United States of Truth. In truth we trust.
The Nakamura finish might have been botched. I don't know. I thought it worked. I thought doing more finishes like that to where it's kind of a sports maybe it looks like a botch, but it's not really a botch. I actually quite enjoy the Nakamura finish. And then the Rusev thing, it was a good little match. Then now Rusev officially turning heel, so now they've turned Elias and Rusev on back-to-back nights. I don't know why they did the Rusev heel turn, just because he wasn't as over as he was a year ago with the whole Rusev Day stuff when he was a heel. So
yeah,
I don't exactly know where they're going with this. So then now you're having them team up on the next week. They could be like the new Bar. You have Nakamura and Rusev be kind of an odd couple tag team, and then they work together, and now they're
tag team champions.
Maybe they end up defeating Miz and McMahon for the tag team championships at WrestleMania. Who exactly knows, but.
No, they're going to move into something with the Good Brothers. Apparently next week or something.
Yes, but, the Good Brothers aren't doing anything. They're going to be in AEW within the next 6 months, but...
Oh, wow.
Everybody's going to AEW.
Are we going to AEW?
WWE is not going to be a thing in 6 months because everyone's leaving.
Dude, are we going to AEW?
Maybe.
My Bulletcast contract's up in a couple months. Am I going to AEW? I don't know.
Are we going to be at Starcast, hosting meet and greets, doing live podcasts?
Hey, man. I'll shoot a thing over to Cody. We'll see. We shall see. Now we're probably gonna have to take her to Pharaoh, take him for a walk, get it some doggy bites or something. I don't know. All right, shout out R-Truth. Him and Bobby Lashley, two black guys, single title holders in WWE. Black excellence, man. I'm excited. I really am. Making this happen. All right, so Rey Mysterio is scheduled for a match with Samoa Joe and Selena Vega. Thank God she still has two names. Comes out there, cuts a promo saying how Mysterio is not ready for Andrade, Cien Almas. And Almas comes out there and attacks Mysterio.
Yeah, just kind of forwarding the storyline. I thought it was good work. I mean, it's nice to see Zelina actually cutting promos, because that's the whole reason she's with Almas. Or sorry, Andrade. Andrade?
Wow.
But I mean, I thought it was good work from everybody involved. How far do they stretch this out? I don't know. But if this is just a SmackDown TV feud, I'm fine with this. So
you never know.
It's aight. It's cool.
It's aight. All right. The Miz and Shane's tag team title celebration. So the Miz and Shane, spoiler alert, won the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championships. And then that Shane has a surprise for the Miz. Plays a beautiful video package for him. And then the Miz's father comes out to the ring and tells his son he's proud of him. Warmed my heart, man.
Shit. Brought a tear to my eye.
Exactly, The Miz won 8 Intercontinental titles, U.S. titles, other tag titles.
Main evented WrestleMania.
And won the World Championship and becoming tag team champions with the McMahon made his father proud of him.
Yep. I mean, why not? The world revolves around the McMahons.
Maybe if I become tag team champions with Vince, my mother would be proud of me.
That's your battle, not mine.
Damn. Are your parents proud of you?
At least I say they do. I don't know if they really are or not.
What's that like?
I don't know.
We're getting really deep here. What did you think of the segment?
It's kind of awkward, and it kind of like set up a Shane McMahon heel turn, which never came, which I'm always a fan of like, making the crowd think they're going one way, and they actually don't. It's just a good, wholesome segment, and then it sets up the 4-way elimination tag match.
Yes, it does. It happens later on in the show.
Well, actually, technically, happened next, but then there's just this awkwardly long promo that's just in the middle of all the entrances.
Oh yes. So moving on to that.
I set you up, and you just looked at me like I was an idiot.
I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose have, I guess, just entered themselves in the Women's Tag Team Elimination Chamber match for the Women's Tag Titles.
That's why it's better to be on SmackDown.
That's why it's better to be on SmackDown. It's the A show. All right, and then was it Kayla Braxton?
It was Kayla.
Yeah, shout out Kayla. She asked Mandy Rose why she's been doing this to Naomi and Jimmy Uso. Then we saw clips of Tough Enough from almost 4 years ago when Velveteen Dream was on that Tough Enough. I remember that. In 2015, where Naomi said she doesn't have what it takes, yada, yada, yada. And this is when Tamina was doing the splash on all the girls from off the top rope. And Mandy said, it shook her confidence. And, she lost confidence in herself. And her boyfriend dumped her after that. Like, Jesus, man. Like, that's hazing. That's hazing, what Naomi did.
Mm-hmm.
That's unacceptable. So now we understand. Do you feel more for Mandy now?
No.
What do you mean no?
I thought it was a good callback just to, telling some sort of story of why Mandy is upset with Naomi because the whole, I'm prettier than her really doesn't make any sense. So I thought it was a good little callback. It puts heat on Mandy because the best heat is always a little bit of truth.
Should be some sympathy.
No. The heel had a little bit of truth on her side, but she stretched it out to be like a little over the top. So I thought it was a good little segment, but the bad news is it seems as though we're going to get more Mandy Rose and Naomi matches.
Dude, did you not hear the sorrow in her voice when she said he dumped me? Like, I felt...
Does that mean she's single? Corey Graves might be filing for a divorce right now.
Oh my god. You know what? Tommaso Ciampa named the NXT title Goldie, right? Yeah, I think that's what he named it. The Bulletcast title's name is Mandy.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just what it is, man. I feel for her. I feel like she was very mistreated. That's illegal on most college campuses, hazing is. It's not okay. Especially in this climate that we live in, that's not all right. I'm very disappointed in Naomi.
So sad, so sad.
Yes. All right, moving on. We have the Tag Team Championship qualifying match. The Usos. They go on to win the match. They defeat the Bar, Heavy Machinery, and the New Day. Thoughts?
I thought Heavy Machinery looked good. Maybe not the best look for them to be the second ones eliminated, but I thought they did some good work on them, so I think it's a good showing that they got at least one elimination. They got to eliminate New Day, which I think is a good sign on their part. The Usos qualifying is interesting just because they're babyface. They could turn heel at any point. You have the whole Mandy Rose Naomi thing, so I would assume they're staying babyface. So now with Miz and McMahon going up against the Usos, it's gonna be interesting to see what story they tell and how they how they perceive, how they present the Usos.
Yes. I'm excited. I don't think the Usos need to turn heel for this. Plus, I think The Miz and Shane going up against the Usos on the mic, I think it could be interesting to see moving forward. When's that match set for? Elimination Chamber, they said?
I assume so.
Yes, so that's going to be great to watch. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I've been waiting to talk about this ever since it happened on Tuesday. Daniel Bryan comes out to the ring with Rowan, and he's been doing all this stuff, talking about how we're destroying the planet, and he says he's been somewhat of a hypocrite because he's been carrying around the WWE Championship, which is made of absolute leather, called the cow that died for this leather, Daisy.
R.I.P. Daisy.
R.I.P. Daisy. And so what does Daniel Bryan do? He recycles.
No, he threw it away.
Oh, you threw it away?
He threw it in the garbage can.
It wasn't recycled?
I don't think that was recycled.
Well, he threw it away. This isn't the first time a title has been thrown away on television. A la Medusa on Nitro. But Daniel Bryan throws away the WWE Championship, and he brings out his new Hemp WWE title. This is your boy. Tell us about it, man.
I thought it was a good segment. I thought just having Daniel Bryan come out with that new championship, it was a good look. I mean, I think it's just kind of the next step in the Daniel Bryan character. I think the Daniel Bryan Rowan dynamic can be interesting and fun to see. Do we bring out Luke Harper? Do we get to see them do a little bit of something? I mean, a Luke Harper, Daniel Bryan feud. Maybe not a WrestleMania feud. Maybe it is. Maybe just something for Fastlane. Who exactly knows? But I can see that that new WWE Championship being a hot seller on WWE Shop.
Yes, it will. You know what? Should we get a Hemp title?
It's stronger than leather.
It's very true. I might have to find out where Daniel Bryan got that made, and I might have to put in some calls. Or actually, you know what? Maybe Daniel Bryan could put his tutorial about how he made it himself on like the WWE YouTube channel. That'd be pretty funny.
Or the Bella's channel.
Oh yes, or the Bella's channel. Yes. All right, Superstar Spotlight. Who do we got?
We're not going to talk about after the fact where everyone comes out.
Oh my god!
And it set up the Elimination Chamber match. I thought
forgot.
Samoa Joe's promo where he just ran down everybody.
It was excellent.
It was great.
It was excellent.
Maybe the highlight of the show, to be honest.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. After that, after the introduce of the title, AJ Styles comes out there and is like, "Did you smoke what that championship's made of?" and all that other stuff.
That was not good.
Yes. I found it funny after Daniel revealed the title. Samoa Joe went on Twitter and was like, "I want all the smoke." So Randy Orton makes his way out there. Mustafa Ali, Jeff Hardy, Samoa Joe. And like you said, Samoa Joe runs down everybody. I think not the funniest, but the most savage line was, telling Jeff to sit down and shut up, act like it's an AA meeting, and let somebody else share. And then, went up to AJ and said, "How is our old girl Wendy doing?" And then that's when it turns into Pier 6 brawl. Everybody's fighting. Daniel and Rowan get out of the ring, and then Hunter is on the screen, and he's like, "Daniel Bryan, you will be defending your WWE Championship against all 5 of these men inside the Elimination Chamber." It's going to be a good match.
I mean, it should be a good match. I mean, there's no real weak link in here. Maybe the weakest link is Randy Orton, just because he's not... I'm just saying, maybe he's just not as open to doing crazy things and having a spectacular match like all the other ones are. But it's still going to be a really good match. I think Daniel Bryan's going to walk away with the championship. Just kind of squeak away with Rowan helping him somehow, some way. But we're, 3 weeks away, 4 weeks away from the Elimination Chamber, so we have a lot of moving parts. So it's going to be a lot of tag team matches and a lot of, multi-man matches setting up this Elimination Chamber.
Let's get some random singles matches. Let's get Jeff Hardy versus AJ Styles randomly on a Smackdown leading up to this.
Hey, I wouldn't be shocked if this happened.
It's going to be Mustafa Ali versus AJ Styles randomly for no reason.
I was hoping for that Mustafa Ali Daniel Bryan feud, which we never got, but
a little mini feud going into this. I could see it. Yeah,
possibly.
All right, now the Superstar Spotlight. I'm gonna give it to Daniel Bryan. Changing the championship, just adding more to his character. I enjoy it. I really do.
And I'll go with Becky Lynch. Maybe not the best start with her tapping out to Asuka at the beginning of the Royal Rumble. Have a little bit of an issue with that. That's one of the other reasons I would say just have Becky not even be in that match. You just have her in the Royal Rumble to begin with. But then she wins the Royal Rumble. She has that fire promo and that great exchange on Raw, and then another great exchange on SmackDown. So I thought definitely Becky Lynch on the steps to main event in WrestleMania.
Yes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, All Pro Wrestling Killer Whale is this Friday night. Tomorrow, it is at 450 Martin Street in Daly City. I will be in attendance. I will be going with Mendoza. The headline of that is John Morrison, Johnny Nitro, Johnny Impact, whatever you want to call him. He's
Johnny Lucha Underground. I don't know.
Johnny Mundo.
Johnny Mundo.
Yes, he is taking on the current reigning, defending All Pro Wrestling Universal Champion, the real Universal Champion, Jacob Fatu, Big Oos. Good to see that match. Newest AEW signee, Jungle Boy, will be there defending his All Pro Wrestling Junior Heavyweight title. So Nicole Savoy and Taya Valkyrie are going to be there. They're going to have another match together. So it's going to be some good stuff there, man.
APW seems to always put on a good show.
Yes.
Won't be at this show, but I think I'll be at the next show in March.
Uncensored, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think the Bucks show up at this one?
That's one of the other reasons that I want to go to this. SCU's there.
I'm talking about this one. I mean, Jungle Boy's the newest signee, so
That could.
that's a possibility.
I think the Young Bucks hinted at something to where they bought their tickets. They're going somewhere this weekend. Who knows? Who knows?
You know, if I'm there, get you a Young Bucks autograph.
Sure.
Sure. Why not?
Why not?
Why not? Yep. All right. Promo pick of the week. Arn Anderson from WCW Nitro, July 29th, 1996. This is when WCW's version of the Four Horsemen were going up against the NWO for a little bit, and Arn Anderson really cut a fire promo. I heard about I think I heard about this on either the State of Combat podcast or Pritchard's podcast weeks ago. And Arn Anderson, there was a strong line in there, and it was like, "What's the first rule of gang warfare?"
Well, it wouldn't have been Pritchard. It would have been Bischoff, since this is in WCW.
No, I don't listen to Bischoff's podcast.
Well, then why is Bruce Pritchard talking about WCW?
It may not. Arn
Anderson.
It may have been State of Combat. It may have been that one. Yeah. So Arn Anderson, like, what's the first rule of gang warfare? They put one of yours in the hospital. You put one of theirs in the morgue, and I'm like, oh my god, that's a powerful line. What'd you think of this?
A very good promo from Arn Anderson. Arn Anderson, maybe the second best Four Horsemen in the history of this faction. I think I was watching like the build up to this back in the day when I was watching like ever since the NWO formed, just watching this build and culminate. So I mean, fire promo from Arn Anderson. Maybe not the biggest fan of like talking about killing people, something that Ronda Rousey kind of brought up, but it was also kind of like realistic because she said like I can kill you, but I won't. So, yeah, Arn Anderson, great promo all the way around.
Yes. All right, on our closed match pick of the week, this match happened 20 years ago today.
I did not even realize that.
Yes. Hey, I see why you did it, man. Brandon picks The Rock versus Mankind empty arena match, halftime heat for the WWF Championship. Take it away.
So, yeah, an empty arena match on a halftime heat. So basically I picked just because of what they're doing this year, and I didn't even realize it was a 20th anniversary on to the day we were recording, but that's another reason to watch it. So an empty arena match, kind of the reason they did an empty arena match, so they can keep keep the results so it doesn't get leaked out. And they talked a little bit about it on the Pritchard podcast, and just kind of a crazy, kooky match is going all the way around the arena, just kind of inspired from the Jerry Lawler, Terry Funk empty arena match, which I think is also another match pick that I have done in the past. So definitely go out and watch this match. A kind of a kooky, kind of weird ending to this, but overall it's entertaining.
Yeah.
It's not a barn burner. It's not a great technical match, but it's just, a nice walk and brawl from the Attitude Era.
Vince on commentary. Mankind getting hit with a trash can rolling downstairs, fighting in food, popcorn, cotton candy, catering, offices, all that stuff. I watched it before we started recording. It was something. It was something to behold. Mankind wins his second WWF title as a result of this match, pinning The Rock down on a forklift.
And the camera work was interesting.
It was very interesting. All right, ladies and gentlemen, follow us on Twitter at Bulletcast, Instagram, The Bulletcast, YouTube channel, The Bulletcast. Email us, bulletcast2 and the number 2, sweet@gmail.com, 99.9 FM K-Dub in Watsonville every Friday night from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, TuneIn, Google Play, iHeartRadio. We're all over the damn place. APW Killer Whale, you can find ya boy in attendance. I will be wearing the Bulletcast hoodie. If you see me, if you listen, come say hi. I'm going to try to get some content for us moving forward. And Brandon and I have a little special thing coming to you guys this weekend. It is the 30-year anniversary of the promo in which the Mega Powers explode with Miss Elizabeth in the back because she was injured, and Hogan's trying to calm Macho Man down, and Macho Man just starts punching him and stuff. So it's going to be a good little watch-along that we're going to do.
Yeah, excited. Did the watch along for Royal Rumble 1999. Might not be on the podcast feed anymore, but it definitely is on YouTube. Go and check that out.
Go and check that out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, and we'll see you next time.
This has been the Bulletcast. Thank you for listening.